listening to the Secrets of Star Wars Life Day live stream. And I'm Angela Ciolana, also known as the Bendu. You're listening to the Secrets of Star Wars, where we talk about everything connected to that galaxy far, far away, including the deeper themes and meanings. Today, we are celebrating a Life Day by doing the very first live stream featuring our newer members of the panel, as well as an old friend. So joining me this evening we have, first of all, ladies first, the artist, Catherine Laffrey. Hello, Catherine.
Hello, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you. We have Master Ikrit, a.k.a. Thomas Salerno. Hello, Thomas.
Hello there.
You stole the line. We've got the Dadalorian, Patrick Mason. Hi, Pat.
Howdy and Merry Christmas.
Howdy, howdy, howdy. And we also have with us Father Fett, Father Andrew Kinsetter. Hello, how are you?
Hey, Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm doing pretty well.
Yeah, well, you've been conspicuously absent. I've been hosting a whole lot more this year, so
Yeah.
I'm sure folks are kind of curious what's been up with you. So give us the little 411 here.
I mean, if I'm gonna be honest, I've been stranded on Tatooine for the last year and a half, so I just haven't been able to to get out much. Actually, I've been stranded more or less in Coruscant. If you want to be more appropriate, I've been out in Washington D.C. at the Catholic University of America studying canon law for the last year and a half at this point, with another just a little over 7 months to go, 2 more semesters, spring and summer semester. So it's I've missed you guys a lot, and the new guys on the panel. It's great to get to see and hear you and talk with you guys too tonight. But it was just too much for me to handle, juggling 15 credits plus hosting every week on the podcast. So I had to just take a step back. But I'm glad I could join for events like this, and I'm not gone. Definitely not gone. Just taking a brief hiatus as I finish up this degree. So I appreciate all the prayers that everybody has been sending my way for that.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for your service. I'm sure that's not easy work that you're doing. So
No,
yeah.
but it is
So
fascinating. I mean, it's all learning is good, and I know some people would cringe at that, but I mean, I was the type that said when I got ordained, I am never going back to school, and here I am 6 years later going back to grad school. So it's a
well,
good thing.
somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you for your service once again. Well, here we are. We are all celebrating. So we will put the idea of work and school aside, and we will continue our celebration of Life Day. Yes, happy Life Day, everyone. We are officially declaring today Life Day. Um, and we are, just for those of you who may not know, Life Day is a wonderful holiday that is, in fact, a Star Wars holiday. It was part of the Star Wars Holiday Special. Now, we had someone in the chat, who was it, Sean, from our chat and our Discord. So if you want to join the chat at Discord, you can join us at sqpn.com/Discord. But Sean, when he heard about our live stream today, he said, we don't have to watch the Star Wars Christmas special, do we? And I said, no, we're not monsters. So if you've seen the holiday special from 1978, it was released on November
Yep.
17th of that year, that famous year. It came exactly 1 week before Thanksgiving, so kind of opening up the holiday season, as it were. And let's just say it was special Star Wars content.
It was definitely a special.
So,
If you watch anything from it, watch the cartoon right smack dab in the middle.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah.
That's where Boba Fett was introduced, just in case anybody was wondering.
Yes, fun fact. Really cool cartoon, actually. That's
Mhm.
probably one of the few parts that
Yep.
is worth salvaging from the holiday special. But yeah, so Life Day was introduced on this special, and it is a Wookiee holiday, originally anyway. It was a Wookiee holiday where they would feast, they would make a pilgrimage to the Tree of Life, which represented the spark of life on Kashyyyk, and they would do some things that maybe sound a little familiar, like decorating the tree and having rituals and um, stringing lights and all that good stuff. And so after the Empire was defeated, then Life Day celebrations just spread throughout the galaxy. So here we are celebrating the Christmas season, which we consider to be the ultimate Life Day, I would say. I don't know what you guys think.
Oh, totally.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
I can live with that.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how convincing you sound, but
Yes,
Or
it's the best.
It's the best thing ever. Or Easter could also be Life Day.
very
Since
true.
it's resurrection,
True.
new life.
Yeah.
We're all
Well,
about
but you can't
life.
really talk about the resurrection without talking about the incarnation. Nor can you talk about the incarnation without reference to the resurrection. So the Paschal mystery, all just wrapped up there.
Because 2 Life Days are better than 1 anyway. So
There you go.
So then every Mass is Life Day.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yay!
Every weekend is a mini Easter, so
technically.
Yeah, just don't show up to your next mass in a Wookiee costume. So
Yeah, they frown on that.
well, we're going to do a little show and tell here because we have this wonderful medium of visual content as well as our audio content. So we're going to do a Life Day show and tell. So, folks here on the panel, what is something Star Wars that you have been given as a gift, or just some Star Wars swag that relates to Christmas? So let's start with you, Thomas.
okay, so I have a Galaxy's Edge Kylo Ren lightsaber.
Yeah.
So
Now, and this I did receive as a gift because a deacon friend of mine was downsizing his home, and he had no more place for the Kylo Ren lightsaber that he got at Disney World. So he asked if I would take it off his hands, and I'm like, of course.
right?
I've never been to the new Star Wars attraction at Disney World. I have not had the chance to have one of these lightsabers, so I was really glad to get a hold of one of these very expensive lightsabers for nothing at all. You know. So.
that's awesome. I love it.
Nice.
Catherine, how about you?
Let's see. Last Christmas, hit the mother lode from my daughters. I got my "This Is the Way" T-shirt, and then there's always another stack to the library. Got a new Dawn.
That's a
Love
good one.
that story. That is a good one. And then a good friend of mine made me my lovely Ahsoka sweater. So cute little details all the way down to the sleeves. It's very woolly and warm, so I'm just using it like a little scarf right now. But yes. Oh, wait. One more thing. There he is.
Yay! Grogu mug.
Gotta have my Grogu mug.
Very cool, very cool. What about you, Father Andrew?
So this year, my mom went to a craft show, and I've got a little crocheted Din Djarin,
Whoa.
complete
cute.
with.
Oh, he's
But
gotta
no-
go bathe now. You took his helmet
Right,
off.
but no Din would be complete without a Grogu.
Aww.
Stop,
So-
it's so cute.
Yeah, they are the cutest little things ever. So those are the Christmas. Well, it's the only Star Wars Christmas present I got this year. But I did get myself a Christmas present, if I can share that.
Yes. Ooh.
It is a Mark Hamill autograph on this from
No way.
the final episode of season 2 of The Mandalorian.
Oh,
So
Nice.
It's too bad you could only get Mark Hamill and you couldn't get Luke Skywalker to sign that.
I think if you read carefully, he's got both names on there too. So.
Oh,
Nice. So,
Oh man. Okay. Well, I'm sorry to put you after that, Pat, but what's your show and tell?
okay. Well, I get Star Wars stuff every year. It's like the shirt I'm wearing, for instance, was a previous year. But this was this year's. Was the Death Star
Lego.
Trench Run Lego set.
Yeah.
ooh, very cool.
So this complements the Executor I got earlier in the year in the Dagobah Yoda's house. So it's going to go on the shelf next to those.
Nice.
Nice.
All 660 some odd pieces.
Wow. That's awesome. That's so cool. Mine is simply a mug. It is a Christmas sweater Grogu
Oh,
mug. And it's got you might see there's like Din Djarin silhouettes
Aw.
and the Mando mythosaur skull
Yep.
there.
Yep.
nice.
So yeah, just enjoying my holiday beverages in this wonderful mug. So yeah, so fun. We love Christmas Star Wars swag in this house. So.
Yeah.
For those of you who are watching live, we want to go ahead and invite you. Please do ask your questions for our panel in the chat. We're going to be, we definitely have some things that we're going to be talking about today, but we're also going to be happy to answer your questions as well. So feel free to ask them in the chat on YouTube, or if you're watching, if you're joining us on Discord, again on our SQPN Discord, just go to the Secrets of Star Wars channel there on Discord. You can find us on sqpn.com/Discord and join us on Discord there. All right. So let's keep the party rolling here, shall we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've got some party questions here. Let's talk about just, holiday celebration in general. It could be Christmas, could be some other holiday. Besides, gifts that you get, which is definitely easily a Star Wars connection for, I think, a lot of us that are vocal about our love for Star Wars. Have you guys ever celebrated a traditional holiday, maybe your birthday even, in a Star Wars fashion? And if you have, how did you do so? Tell us about it. Let's see. Thomas, do you have any ideas, any memories, any recollections you want to share with us?
I do. I'm pretty sure that several birthdays, both for myself and my brother, were celebrated with a Star Wars theme. And I recollect that for one of those, we had set up a life-size kind of stand-up of Darth Vader, because my aunt worked at Blockbuster back in the day, and she used to get a hold of a lot of their, promo materials that they were getting rid of. And this was back when the special editions were coming out, and they had like a life-size cardboard Darth Vader stand-up.
Nice.
And she gave it to us when they were going to get rid of it. So we had it in the house, and I'm pretty sure that at one birthday we set that up in the living room or something.
That's so cool. Did you put any like party hats on him or anything?
I don't remember, actually. No, I just remember we had the stand up, and when it wasn't in the living room for a birthday party, it was just in our room.
Yep.
So we had Darth Vader in our bedroom,
Hanging out.
just hanging out.
You see, like, waking up, like, kind of groggy and seeing Vader and flipping. Oh, my God.
Yeah. Yeah, there were several instances of that.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Catherine, how about you?
Oh, sorry to disappoint. I have not had any birthday celebrations that have been Star Wars themed, and then having 3 daughters who weren't into Star Wars, I'm slowly corrupting one of them. I mean, they'll watch it with me, but then after a while, they're like, "Mom, that's cute. That's nice for you." But they say they love their geeky mom, so okay.
There's still time.
I got nothing. Yeah, there's still
Yeah, I can't say that I've had like a Star Wars birthday. I would say probably the closest thing was one time I heard that for New Year's you could time the first Star Wars. That's at a certain point, you know, you start watching it, and then the Death Star blows up at midnight. On New Year's. So that I tried that, and that was really cool. So yeah, I guess that's how I've celebrated a holiday Star Wars style. So yeah, how about you, Father Effet?
The one that I've got two examples. One that I'm recollecting probably isn't super fair, but it was my brother's birthday, and if I'm remembering right, and Mom and Dad will correct me if I'm wrong, but if I'm remembering right, it was his 16th birthday, and my older brother's a Star Trek fan, so they had put Warp 16 Engage, but instead of anything else Star Trek, they put a Jango Fett little statue on the cake. So it was like this weird mix of Star Trek, Star Wars. I like the Jango Fett. I don't, Star Trek is cool, but not as much my thing. And so that was always kind of fun to remember. The other one that I'm remembering, I'm sure there was plenty of birthdays that I had Star Wars, at least, a themed card or something, or presents, but I'm not quite remembering anything more specific than that. But the other fun one that I remember is me and a good friend of mine who's a Star Wars fan. We celebrated Star Wars Celebration. I think it was 2016, if I'm remembering right. And we watched the live stream of Celebration, so watched the main stage, and we made blue milk, and his wife made like cookies that were like, I want to say they were like BB-8 like shaped and stuff.
Nice.
So that was also fun, because when you're celebrating, with other Star Wars geeks, you can just go all out.
Yeah, definitely. That is so cool. That's really fun. Pat, how about you?
So it wasn't really a specific holiday. It was, the theaters, when they come out with a new Star Wars show, some of them will show like all of them, all the old ones, in like one day. Like you go and you want. And so me and a buddy of mine, we went and saw, before episode 7, we went and saw, 1 through 6,
Nice.
basically starting in the morning and going all day. And I tell you what, when I was younger and doing movie marathons, I walked out, I was in a lot better shape than I did, 8 or 9 years ago, when that came out. But that's always like the big thing for us, is like when we get together, try and watch the movies together that match like whatever holiday season it is, and either Celebration or Life Day tends to be the target for watching the Star Wars movies.
Nice. Yeah, I remember the days of syndicated television when you would have Star Wars just playing on like in the background of family gatherings, So
That's how I first saw it. Yeah.
There you go.
Really?
Yeah, when it was on TV one time, Empire Strikes Back was on TV, and my parents were like, "Oh, hey, this is a movie that little Thomas will probably want to watch," and they just had it on the TV.
Your first one was Empire?
Was Empire on the TV? Yeah.
Okay.
And I remember my parents spoiling the reveal.
No.
But I was a kid. I didn't really care. I was, like...
My first experience ever with Star Wars was also the same exact thing, except for all that I remember about it was that Yoda creeped me out. And then I didn't watch Star Wars.
Yes.
It took me years to go back. It was really episode 2 that really drew me in. But as a kid, Yoda was just odd enough that...
Yep, he actually did frighten me. I mean, I was also afraid of E.T. as a kid, so it was something about those lifelike animatronic aliens that really creeped me out as a kid.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, E.T. was flat out terrifying. I don't like
The thing where
so
he
cute,
extends
like,
his
no.
neck, though,
Yes,
was
oh my
terrifying.
gosh. Why is that happening?
You don't want to
That
know
sounds-
one of my stuffed animals was E.T. and I'd put him in the middle of all my other stuffed animals.
It sounds like we need a Star Wars Halloween intervention here as well. So yeah,
Yeah.
creepy Star Wars.
And E.T. was in Star Wars at one time. Isn't he like in the background of the Phantom Menace or something? He's in one of the prequels.
Yeah,
You can see him
Really?
in
They're-
the Senate
they're-
chamber.
Yeah, they're in the Senate. Yep.
They're one of the
yes.
aliens
His
going,
people.
vote now, vote now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. I gotta add that Jason Yuji in our Discord chat said that he had his twins' first birthday themed in Star Wars, and then his 40th a few years ago was Star Wars themed, and he wore his R2D2 bow tie, and his wife wore her R2D2 dress. So very cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And so let's talk about, speaking of all these great Star Wars characters, let's talk about maybe some fantasy life day situations here. If you guys could give a life day gift to your favorite Star Wars character, what gift would you give them and why? Okay, so first of all, you got to, of course, reveal your favorite Star Wars character. And then what gift would you give to them for Life Day? So, let's see. Thomas, what do you say?
Well, my favorite Star Wars character seems to change daily, but I'll use one that I'm very fond of, and that is C-3PO, because I know exactly what I would give him. I would give C-3PO a gift certificate for one of those oil baths that he likes, that he gets in the beginning of A New Hope, because C-3PO goes through a lot of crap, and I feel like he would enjoy a good oil bath. So just to relax, go to the droid spa if I'm sure that exists. And
I'm sure it does in Star Wars.
yeah,
Well, I mean, they have bars, right?
they
gotta
have bars.
spas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was like a Clone Wars episode where R2 and C-3PO go to one of those spa places for droids. So, yeah, definitely. Good gift. Very thoughtful of you, Thomas.
Thank you.
Very caring. Okay, Catherine, what about you?
Okay, first of all, pick one character. What? Okay, but I'm going to have to go with my new favorite, my little nom nom buddy, Grogu. And for him, I would give him a nice bowl full of my Christmas Eve soup that I make, because he likes weird things. Put a bunch of pierogi in there, because it sounds like froggies, because he likes his froggies, and then give him a cute little bowl of soup.
Oh, very cute. In my neighborhood, somebody has those inflatable like lawn decorations are all the rage right now, and somebody has a Grogu of like sipping the little mug or whatever. You know how that became a meme. Well, now it's like a Christmas inflatable lawn decoration. So there you go. Yeah, I gotta say my favorite Star Wars character for all time is probably going to be Obi-Wan. And it sounds really like obvious, at least to me, but I would say for Life Day, take him to a cantina and give him a flight of like really nice, drinks, and just sit down and enjoy, the company, because it seems like that's what Obi-Wan tends to want to do. So to relax,
Otherwise, he just cut somebody's arm off in those
I was
places.
gonna say, yeah.
Yeah. You got to get that guy chill.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't want death sticks though. That's when he
No.
goes to a bar.
Yeah,
That's
no
the
death
one
I
thing
wouldn't
no
dream
death
of it,
sticks.
Thomas.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. All right, Father Andrew, how about you?
Well, this will come as no surprise, but my favorite character is Jango Fett.
What?
And right? I know. You're all just. I can see you're all just so shocked by that. And for Life Day, he deserves a good dad joke book.
Oh, yes.
Nice.
Oh,
I like the connection. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Well, speaking of dads, the Dadalorian here, Patrick. What about you?
Okay, so my favorite is Chewbacca, and I've been taller than most of my friends for most of my life, and that was my like default nickname. At least when we were talking about Star Wars, was Chewbacca. So he's been my favorite. I'm split. I either want to get him a good pair of shorts because I remember that being a thing. Like when Lucas was like, "Okay, we're gonna have this like kind of bear Wookiee creature." Like, well, he's got to wear pants. Like, wait, what? Why?
Just make
I'm
sure there's
picturing
no
a Teen
slave
Wolf
labor
kind of
involved.
look.
Yes. It's like jean shorts, little frayed on the ends. That or a surfboard, because from the Clone Wars, it looks like he's got a pretty sweet beach there, or set of beaches on Kashyyyk that he could really catch some waves, and so I would love to see that.
Hey, he had a surfboard in Lego Star Wars.
Yep.
In
Oh,
Tales
he
of the
did.
in Droid Tales.
Right.
Yep. So
There's a Star Wars Christmas album. I know this is slightly off topic, but totally not off topic. Have you
Yeah.
guys all heard of the Star Wars Christmas album?
Totally.
I have not.
Oh gosh. So
No.
after the show, or if you're watching the show live, look it up on YouTube. It's called Christmas in the Stars, and it was put out, I think, in 1980. It's an actual CD, actual album narrated by C-3PO and R2-D2. So that's the introduction. One of the songs relates to your Wookiee problem. One of the songs is titled, "What do you get a Wookiee for Christmas when he already owns a comb?" I'm not going to spoil where they go with that, but look it up and listen to it. It's adorable.
Great tip. Yes, definitely. We love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I like the idea of playing off of Kashyyyk for sure. It's very on theme with Life Day. So let's just say, we got to choose which Star Wars planet we think we want to celebrate Life Day on. And I know we all want to say Kashyyyk, and that's fine if you want to say Kashyyyk. But I gotta say, let's crank up the creativity here. What Star Wars planet would you want to celebrate Life Day on, and tell us why? Maybe reveal a little bit about your personality here. So Thomas, we're gonna go swing on back to you here. What do you think? What are you thinking right now?
Well, I'm thinking like, holidays. I live up, in the Northeast, so I guess the most aesthetically appropriate planet would be Hoth.
Yeah.
Because I know where I don't want it to be any of the warm planets because, as soon as the thermometer gets above like 50 or 60 degrees, I start to melt. So, colder planet for me.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. How about you, Catherine?
Well, I was going to say Kashyyyk because been a tree climber ever since I was a little kid, and I'd still do it now if I could find a tree I could get into. But if I had to pick somewhere else, it'd have to be Lothal because I just love the wolves and all the other little critters, and their little stone pillar things that stick up out of the ground would make great, Life Day decorations.
Cool. Very cool. Yes, you're definitely our Clone Wars or our Rebels enthusiast here, so
Yeah.
appreciate it. I would have to say, you guys know that I live deep in the heart of Texas, and I'm not used to like snow or cold on quote unquote Life Day as we're celebrating it. I gotta say, just for I'll be home for Life Day type of thing, I'm gonna have to go with Tatooine. So yeah, maybe there's some kind of special because I made tamales a few days ago, so that's a very Christmas tradition, for my family. So maybe on Tatooine there's some sort of equivalent of making tamales. I don't know. But I'm imagining that would be pretty fun. Father Andrew, how about you?
I would pick Camino because I love the water planets. I mean, uh, even just symbolically, with water being life bearing, I mean, or life destroying, I mean, depending on how you want to kind of look at it. But, on one of those rare days when it's not raining, to have like an outdoor on the tarmac where all the ships are, have a big party out there.
Fun. Yeah. How about you, Patrick?
So I think I would probably go with it's Ferrex, right? From where Andor's from.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep.
Because I've spent my entire career in kind of the industrial environment, and so I've been a wrench turner. I work with wrench turners now. I supervise wrench turners. But we all know how to party. And, and I have a feeling they do pretty good with their celebrations. So I would want to be in on that.
Oh my gosh, I love that idea. That's so cool. Well, definitely for Marva's funeral, you could tell that there was a lot of ritual and tradition on Ferrix, so I could totally see that. Okay, well, thank you so much for being creative and and enjoying that question. I think, when we're talking about Star Wars on this show, we do like to be creative, but we like to connect it with our spiritual life. We like to talk about those deeper themes and meanings, as I mentioned in the intro. And I think, when we're talking about Christmas and Life Day, at least in our theology, so to speak, we talk about, like, what is it about Star Wars that connects with all of that connects with the deeper purpose? When we, there's this saying, right? Keep Christ in Christmas. So, I mean, tell us about what about Star Wars is important in a way that it has impacted your spirituality, your personal spiritual journey. Why is it that Star Wars affects you so much that you're here on a Wednesday night live streaming with a bunch of random people from across the country? Just tell us about how Star Wars has changed and affected you in that capacity. So, Thomas, we'll start off with you again.
Well, in terms of my own personal life and my personal journey, it's got to be my relationship with my younger brother, who I've mentioned a million times on these podcasts. But, he was actually, even though I mentioned I had seen Star Wars as a little kid, he was really the Star Wars fan first. He saw it when the special editions were coming out. And at first I kind of steered away from it because of the sibling rivalry aspect. I'm like, oh, that's my brother's thing. I'm like, my thing is Jurassic Park. His thing is Star Wars. And so we kind of, but, later we really bonded over Star Wars. And anyone who knows us knows that if the two of us are in a room together, we will, within a few minutes, start talking about Star Wars. And that will be the only thing we will talk about for the next couple hours. So, like, just that family connection and, me and my brother still being really, really close and having bonded over Star Wars. We're both now borderline obsessed with Star Wars. And just in terms of, like, spiritual aspects, it's real. Star Wars has gotten me through some tough times. Watching those movies sometimes were, during difficult points in my life, were things that could make me smile, get through them. That sense of hope in Star Wars is always something I connected to. That no matter what's going on, no matter how dark things appear, like with, the Empire having its totalitarian grip on the whole galaxy, that there's a few people can make a difference. And that kind of message that to sort of never give up hope and to keep striving for the good in spite of how dark the world may get. That's always connected to me. Plus, just a lot of Yoda sayings have always stuck with me. You know, try not, do or do not. You know, that's kind of what I've tried to be in my own, life. One of my, go-to sayings. So yeah, there's just so much, and I don't think I could adequately sum up how much Star Wars has just affected, all aspects of my life.
Love it. Catherine, how about you?
Well, I'm going to have to go down the art route on this one. I mean, Star Wars fan since I was, I think, 8 years old, 9 years old from the beginning. And, I mean, I hate to say it, I was 10 years old when the Life Day special happened in 78. Wow, that was a long time ago. But anyway, the thing for me, especially as I've learned and grow in my understanding of sacred art and how sacred art originally and should, and once again will, affect the culture. And Star Wars has a lot of elements within the artwork that is from sacred art. And even tying in our Life Day images on Wikipedia, when you look up Life Day, there's an image of Chewbacca and his family, and they're holding an orb. If you look up the, I hope I say this right, synaxis of the archangels icon, you will see the exact same arrangement of the three archangels, but instead of an empty orb, it's Christ. And so it's neat for me to watch Star Wars and see the reflection of the truth that we see in sacred art. So if you want to show something true, you got to reflect what is true. And so that's always fun for me to see those little bits of sacred art all through. And it just makes me look for more and want to do more art myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that. I'm going to skip over myself right now, and I'm going to go to Father Andrew.
Okay. You wanted us to show some vulnerability, so you're gonna get some of that with my story. Thomas. I was actually a lot like you, or rather, like your younger brother. I was the Star Wars fan. My older brother was the Star Trek fan. But rather than getting my brother to kind of like come to my side, it was I couldn't like Star Trek because he liked Star Trek, so I chose Star Wars because it was different than Star Trek.
Nice.
And so for me, it was one of those things that, like I kind of mentioned earlier, we went and saw episode 2 in theaters, and something about it just captivated me. I couldn't even tell you the battles, especially on Geonosis, captivated the kid in me. And so I just gravitated towards it, started to read the books like crazy, all the fun, then called expanded universe novels, now the Legends branded novels. And I loved it. I couldn't get enough of it. Tried to find as much as I could. But for me, where it got tough was in high school, because I was always the one. I was the goody two shoes in my class. I was bullied for, trying to be the teacher's pet, so to speak, because I got good grades and didn't get into trouble. And I was teased for being a geek. I was teased for liking Star Wars, and I mean even cyber bullied. And I remember one thing in particular that they said online about me was that they thought they should try to speak in Wookiee so that I would understand them. And like all they were doing was throwing insults at me. So in high school, I sort of developed this, like, Star Wars was like I was a closet geek when it came to Star Wars, because all I'd ever known in school is if you share that, you're going to get made fun of. So when I was home, I was, perfectly fine. I was gobbling up the Star Wars stuff like crazy, but in public, I didn't really share that at all because I was scared of getting made fun of for it. And it became one of those things that if you got to know me, I'd open up and reveal that. But it wasn't really until seminary where things really started to change for me. And a lot of it actually delves around the idea of loving yourself as God created you. And I really struggled with that because actually, at that point when I was in seminary, I didn't know how to love myself. All I saw was my flaws. All I saw was, this broken person. And I didn't love myself. And I had to just struggle with that. And so part of my growth in seminary was learning to finally, like, not to see myself as I see myself, but to see myself as God sees me, which is he created me. And if he created me, he created those desires for what's fun, what's cool, what's, even the fact that we love Star Wars, is a thing that God placed in our hearts. It's not a bad thing at all. And so there was many moments throughout seminary that it was this self-acceptance, self-healing, self-growth that I went through. And it finally, I think it was maybe my deacon year that I finally, like, this sounds so weird. Like, I opened up publicly about being like a Star Wars geek. Like, I was finally a proclaimed Star Wars geek. And it was there was this liberation in me because it was like I'm a Star Wars geek, and what that reveals is that, like, I love it and God loves that I love it. There was a deacon preaching when I was in seminary, and he said, as long as you're not sinning, God delights in what you delight in. And, like, that has stuck with me ever since he said that. And so there was this, like, really cool reflection of, like, I'm going to embrace this geeky part of me because it's what God created in me. And if God created it, it's got to be good. And so then after ordination, that's when I coined the name Father Fett, and do all of that kind of stuff. And it's been really fun to embody that as a, just like, this is who I am. I'm a priest. I'm a Star Wars geek. It's who God made me to be. I love it. And it's fun to be able to, like, show that to other people, that, like, you are unique the way you are, and what you love shouldn't be ridiculed because that's what God, placed in your heart, and that is a wonderful and beautiful thing. And that's what we celebrate. That's a fun thing that we can all share together. We're all geeks, and it's fun to be able to do this. So yeah, so for me, Star Wars has been way more than just like a fun hobby. It's been a whole way of learning to love myself as God truly loves me.
Thank you for sharing that. I appreciate how that also ties into the incarnation, and in our Catholic faith we talk about how, God coming and becoming
Hmm.
flesh, just makes all of creation um, holy, and that, sense of what you're saying, that we can enjoy Star Wars and we can enjoy these stories, is part of that connection as well, right?
Hmm. Some people sort of have this, like, false notion that, like, in order to be holy, like, you have to, like, spend 24 hours a day at church and pray, and, like, you can't have any fun, so to speak. You have to, like, go be a hermit. And it's like, no, some are called to that, absolutely. But for the average person, I mean, God, yeah, created our humanity and became one of us. And what we love to have fun with, he would have fun with too.
I can just imagine our Lord enjoying some Star Wars right now. It's pretty cool. Never had
Yeah.
that image before in my mind, but yeah. Patrick, how about you? What is important to you about Star Wars, and how has it affected your life?
Yeah, so it's always been about connection for me. It started with my father. He's always been a big um, semi nerd, closet nerd. I don't know what to call him. But he introduced me to Star Wars. We went to all the movies as they came out, even the new ones, and he introduced me to Transformers and to several other science fiction genre kind of stuff. Um, and then as I grew older, it became a big binding force between me and my friends. Two or three of my friends in high school, a typical Saturday night for us was, hanging out at a Denny's or a Steak and Shake and talking about Star Wars for, whatever book, we had most recently read and what that meant about Luke and, or Vader or Solo and the relationships and who they were as people. And that sort of continued on into college, meeting my college friends and sort of bonding on that note. That was kind of um, I don't know, one of the core things was my Star Wars fandom that brought me to other people, and that was a big deal for me because I was, because I've always been kind of a weird guy. I was a weird kid and didn't have a lot of friends in school, and I sort of gravitated towards other people who were like me, and that's how I formed our friendship. Can remember in high school, one of the religion teachers had the big poster of Yoda on the wall that had all of his sayings on it. And I remember like reading those every day and contemplating on them and like what they meant. What is do or do not. There is no try. That like what does that actually mean, and how do you apply that kind of thing? And so I spent a lot of time in philosophical contemplation because of Star Wars stuff. And what I loved about Star Wars, and the reason I like it more than like Star Trek, for instance, is because the people in it are very real, and the universe is very real. Like in Star Trek, just seems so sanitized, but the people in Star Wars like live in this real dusty, dirty world, dusty, dirty problems, and it makes it easy to relate to. So that's kind of been the thrust for me.
Very cool. Yeah, I tend to agree with you on Star Trek. This isn't like we're not,
Not hating on Star Trek.
not hating. Just sharing, about like my dad kind of raised me on uh martial arts movies and he watched a lot of Star Trek and then he showed me Star Wars, and I remember that Star Wars was the thing that really caught my attention more so. Partially, I think because of the story elements, that the stories being more fantasy are uh, really about um, themes that are more, I guess, about relationships and connection and the spirituality aspect of it too, right? That has always fascinated me. I think I've continued to enjoy Star Wars because of how I can, watch something like you mentioned Andor. I can watch something like Andor or one of the, new Star Wars or an animated series or whatever it is, and it gives me this sort of imaginary place to apply real life situations and real life questions that I have and like spiritual concepts that sometimes when we talk about them in church, like they can feel very abstract, right? And to be able to just have this world where they're infleshed, and we see them play out. Um, that's one reason why I love Star Wars, and the fact that it's always about connection, it's always about family and friendship, um, and using the Force, or in the case of Andor, that something else that drives you, right? That you realize is your conscience, or is the greater good, right? That ultimately is what matters at the end of the day. So that's definitely why I love Star Wars and why I love that we are here and we get to have the secrets of Star Wars. It's awesome. Yeah. So for those of you who are watching in the chat, thank you for continuing to join us. We have Tom sharing in the chat. He says, I'm not the one who originated this, but Star Trek focuses a lot on technology. In Star Wars, the technology always seems always secondary. the people, the relationships, the conflicts are the primary focus. So thank
Yeah.
you, Tom, for sharing that. I would tend to agree.
And that Star Wars is a myth. That's the other thing that really captured my attention, especially when a teacher of mine introduced me to like the classical myths. And then I really started to get interested in Star Wars because I'm like, oh, Star Wars is like another myth, but it's like a modern myth. And it really began to influence me as a creative person and a storyteller myself, where I realized I can look to Star Wars for examples as how you tell a gripping story with compelling characters and create a world that people want to get lost in.
Yeah. Okay, so let's say that as we continue our discussion here, if you all who are watching in the chat or in the live stream, if you want to add to the chat, again, any questions, comments, tell us what you think as we're discussing. We've got also in Discord, our Discord at sqpn.com/Discord, the Secrets of Star Wars channel there. We've got a few people that have been sharing their Life Day or their Christmas swag. So I'm going to see if I can share my screen here, and we will see what chaos ensues as I try to do this. Okay, so we've got some sharing from Paul. I hope that I'm sharing. Let's see. Okay. I didn't see anything.
There it
Okay,
is.
There we go. Yay.
Hey.
So Paul wants to share his Stan Solo figures. Very cool. And then also, I'll stop sharing that and we'll go to another one here that was shared by Jason. And Jason had a very cool gift from his son's girlfriend, who actually freehand painted some Star Wars characters. So I'm going to share that. Let's see how long that takes here.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Very cool. So yeah, lots of talent there. Really appreciate you sharing that, Jason. So thank you so much. If anybody else wants to share anything in Discord, certainly you're welcome to do that. Again, sqpn.com/Discord. And that's where we have a lot of continuing conversations, like all the time, 24/7, anytime you want,
Yep.
about Star Wars with us. So join us there. All right. So let's start a lightning round. Are you guys ready for this?
Let's do it.
No,
Do it.
not ready at all.
Okay, so all of you are watching, feel free to participate in our lightning round as well. Okay, so this is going to be would you rather questions. Okay, so would you rather, I'm going to give you two options, and we're just going to go around. I will include myself here in this, and we'll just go really fast. All of you who are watching, again, put your questions in the chat, and let's get started here. Life Day lightning round. Okay. So, question number one. Would you rather have R2-D2 or BB-8 pilot your ship? Thomas.
R2-D2.
Catherine.
Chopper.
Not an option.
I don't know what he's
Had to
saying.
be an
but I'm pretty
instigator.
sure he's cursing me out.
I got to say R2. All right, Father, how about you?
R2D2.
And Pat.
R2D2.
Okay, R2 seems to win that round. Next lightning round here. Would you rather race in a pod racer like Anakin or fly the Millennium Falcon? Thomas.
Pod racer.
Pod racer.
Oh, Millennium Falcon.
Pod racer.
Millennium Falcon.
Oh, okay. Pod racer by a thread there. Let's see how we're doing. Oh, Falcon seems to be winning in the YouTube chat. So I guess we'll call it a draw. All right, guys. Next lightning round here. Would you rather have a Lothcat or a Porg as a pet? Thomas.
I'm a cat guy, so Lothcat.
Loth cat.
Oh, Porg.
I gotta go with the Loth cat.
I view pets as also potential emergency food supplies, so we're going pork.
Whoa. Was not expecting that.
Survival pork.
Right?
Meals ready to eat, basically.
All right. Next lightning round here. Hopefully not as offensive to our Ford fans.
I would
Would
treat
you
it
rather
well.
would you rather be stuck in a garbage chute or battle a sarlacc? All right.
Battle of Sarlacc.
Garbage chute?
Oh, I gotta say, yeah, garbage chute.
I'll go with Battle of Sarlacc because in the garbage chute you're relying on somebody else to shut it down.
Yes. Yeah.
Pat?
Yeah, I'm in the Zarlak too. I'm not going to go into that garbage chute.
Well, you don't go into it, but you fight it.
Sure you don't. That's what was fun about that one.
Oh man, and we have somebody in the chat saying sarlacc, so I think it's a tie here. All right, very interesting lightning round. Now, next one is possibly controversial here. Would you rather be trained by Obi-Wan or Yoda? Master Ikrit, what say you?
I would say Master Yoda. I mean, Master Yoda did train Master Ikrit in the Legends continuity, so I kind of have to say Yoda.
Master Yoda, he's about my height.
I gotta say Obi-Wan, guys. I think it'll be a lot funner.
I have to say Obi-Wan too. I think he's more grounded.
I probably would pick Obi-Wan, but I would probably need Yoda.
And I think we're split in the chat here. Oh, maybe Obi-Wan is coming out on top. We'll continue to see what shows up in the chat. So we'll go on to the next lightning round of controversial. Would you rather watch Rogue One or Solo?
Oh,
We're talking about
Rogue
the
One.
movies here.
Yeah,
Yes. Okay, Thomas.
Rogue One. Yep, it's one of my favorite Star Wars, hands down. So.
Catherine.
Oh, golly. If I want to cry, Rogue One, but if I want to laugh, Solo.
Ooh. Okay. I gotta say Rogue One, guys.
Yeah, I love Solo, but Rogue One takes the win for me.
I think I watched Rogue One most recently, so I'm going to go with Solo.
Okay. Well, Rogue One is clearly winning in the chat. Although we do, yeah. Oh, we have a comment from Sean. He's saying K2SO rules.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
K2SO does rule.
All right. So we did mention planets beforehand. I think we're gonna skip our planet lightning round question that we had planned, and we're gonna go with our next question of some conflict here. Would you rather battle Maul or Vader? Thomas.
Vader. He's slower.
Yeah, Vader, we know he has a soft spot.
I'm going to say Maul because I feel like the animated series has shown us that Maul could potentially become my friend or my ally. So I'm going to say Maul.
I'm gonna say Maul because seeing Darth Vader in Rogue One is utterly terrifying.
That is true.
Yeah, I have to go with Maul as well. I think canonically he's not as good of a fighter as Vader, even though he is faster. And I mean, I'm dead
episode
either
one,
way
you know.
here.
Yeah. Either way, it's only a matter of time, I think, with, with this battle.
Yeah,
And
not
Maul-
in my wildest fantasy do I think I'm actually going to come out alive in any of these scenarios. So.
Yeah, I figure Maul will kill me fast, and Vader will toy with me. It'll be a cat and mouse kind of a thing.
And in the chat, Paul says Maul is half the man he used to be. So.
Womp womp womp.
All right. Well, we've got some parents in the panel here on the panel. So let's shake it up a little bit from one kind of battle to another. We're talking about babysitting. Would you rather babysit Grogu or Babu Frick? Thomas.
Babu Frick's not really a baby, so I would go with Yoda, Baby Yoda, because at least Grogu I could potentially put to sleep.
Grogu. Gotta go with the cute, that little face. Oh, man, yes. Grogu.
Even though Babu Frick would probably help me like fix a few things around the house, I gotta say Grogu.
Yeah, I'm all with the cuteness of Grogu.
I would go with Frick. I know how dangerous babies can be. One that has force powers. I'm not up for that. I'm just not.
Yeah.
Okay, you're making
He'll
me
steal your
second-guess my
cookies.
answer.
That's how dangerous he
yes.
is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and like Babu Frick could like fix your car or something. So like,
Exactly.
you know.
Yeah. Got plenty
Okay.
of broken stuff in my house.
All right, so we got two more lightning rounds here. Next one is, would you rather fly an X-Wing or a TIE fighter? Thomas.
X-Wing because it has hyperdrive and shields and is not a suicide box like a TIE fighter.
Oh, yeah. X-Wing all the way. That thing's like a rocket ship.
I mean, you guys, the TIE fighter is like leather interior. It's all black. It's so cool. Father
Nice.
Pet.
You know, I'll go with TIE Fighter just because of the thrill factor.
Yeah, no, I want me some shields and hyperdrive. We're going X-Wing here. And I get our little robot buddy. Or droid
That's
buddy.
right.
Oh, true. Very
And
true.
proton torpedo launchers.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah, but
the
we could be
YouTube
talking
chat
about-
definitely agrees.
We could be talking about Thrawn's TIE Fighters, though, right?
Yeah, like TIE
Oh,
Defenders or
Or
so
yeah,
like if you're talking
yeah.
not like just the basic TIE Fighter,
TIE fighter.
then that becomes a real that's a puzzler.
Yeah.
But the
it's-
X-Wing is clearly designed for like farm boys from distant planets to be able to pick up and learn how to fly pretty easily. I think the Rebel Alliance designed them that way.
Yeah.
So that they wouldn't have to spend ages training pilots to fly these things. Whereas like the TIE Defender is like you would need to be one of the best pilots out of the Imperial Academy to even begin to know how to fly that thing.
Yeah, totally. Okay, does anybody have, if you guys that are watching the chat, if you have some would you rather questions for us, we're going to be wrapping up here with our prepared questions. So please put your own would you rather questions in the chat as well. All right, so this is the last one that I've prepared here. Would you rather live during the High Republic or the Resistance era? Okay, so I think I know what Thomas is going to say, but maybe you'll surprise me. What do you got?
Probably I would say High Republic because I just like that idea of how they pitched the High Republic of Jedi Knights of the Round Table. I like that, peak of the Jedi Order. And plus, if he was in canon, Master Ikrit would be alive during that era. So he's my character, so.
Cool. All right, Catherine.
High Republic, because I'd want to be one of those Jedi that don't go fight people. Like the Gardener Jedi, the Librarian Jedi, the Art
Librarian
Jedi.
Jedi for the win.
That's awesome. You guys, I don't like stress, okay? So Resistance era is too much stress for me. I gotta say High Republic.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I would agree with that. I like the idea of the galaxy not being fractured like they are in the Rebel period and the Resistance era. And yeah, the idea that there's just Jedi all over the galaxy is a really cool idea.
All right, Pat.
Yeah, I really enjoy traveling, and traveling during a civil war is rough. So I'm gonna go with High Republic.
Okay, well, it seems like High Republic won this round. So thank you guys for playing the lightning round questions. I wish we had like crazy sound effects, but I'm sorry, I don't.
Oh,
have
what?
any.
Like we don't win a car at the end or something like that, or a land speeder?
Don't forget to spay and neuter your porgs. Okay.
Bob Barker.
Game show host. If you don't get that, there was this show called The Price is Right. Look it up. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's brilliant.
All right. In the chat, we have, let's see, what questions do you guys have? We're going to the chat right now. I've got Paul asking, what are your favorite character arcs from the movies, TV, etc. in Star Wars? Favorite character arcs in particular. Does anybody want to jump on that question? Thank you, Paul, for your question.
I love Vader's redemption arc in the original trilogy.
Yeah,
I just love
yeah.
it.
I love Anakin's whole arc through the first three movies. His rise and fall, and then his redemption arc, and at the same time, Luke's corresponding rising arc.
Mm.
I'll jump in. This is going to be kind of a deep cut, but you got to be a Legends fan to get it. Jason Solo. So in the Legends books, he is one of Han and Leia's kids. He's twins with Jaina Solo. But I've loved Jason's arc because he kind of has a rise and fall, but then even post fall, Luke and his son Ben go on kind of a Odyssey kind of quest to figure out, what made Jason fall, and that like reveals a bit of like, it's almost kind of it's a redemptive look at his fall, and so I think he's been my favorite character arc in the novels ever.
I'm going to jump in deep cut also and talk about Luke's wife, Mara.
Margie.
Love her
Yes.
story. Oh my
Yes.
goodness. Yes. And then, of course, Thrawn. It's so
yeah.
artfully done.
I see what you did there. Artfully done. Yeah, nice.
Yes.
I feel like I could have totally guessed your answer, Catherine.
I don't know why.
Like all you ever talk about on the show?
I got a stack of Thrawn books behind me, Tim. Let's start reading.
Chapter 1. No, you guys, can you guys guess? Can you guys guess which character arc I'm going to say?
I'm gonna think Obi-Wan, maybe.
No? No,
What? Not
almost.
Obi?
Not Obi-Wan. Character arc. Oh my gosh, it's so like obvious. I wonder
Ahsoka?
if anybody in the Ahsoka.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
psh.
Jeez.
That's like the character arc of the past, like, what, 10 years of Star Wars?
Yeah.
Can't believe I forgot about her.
Yeah, so if anybody's not familiar with her character arc and hasn't seen Clone Wars, please do yourself a favor. Go and watch the Clone Wars. Enjoy Ahsoka Tano's amazing character arc. Because it really is. There's a lot of character development and just like audience development. You know, our relationship with her that evolves over time. That, you know, we got some of the payoff with her series recently. So
She's like the only character we've seen from like bratty middle schooler all the way to like adult, right? Like, yeah, you don't get any other character that way, that kind of full breadth of life.
I seem to recall a certain Luke Skywalker being very teenagery though in
wondering
episode
how
4.
old he was. Yeah, but
What's that flashing?
He's like-
you know, he's like such a weird bratty
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
I think he's supposed to be.
Oh,
He's
but I wanna
18
go
in
to
A New
Tasha's
Hope,
Station
right?
to pick up some power converters.
Converters.
Yeah.
Really get that wine in there.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I also want to say I like Han Solo's evolution from, smuggler with a heart of gold to, hero of the rebellion. I just love that. I think it's awesome.
Totally
I
agree.
like all of the arcs in Andor. They're short so far. It's a season, and we're probably not going to be more than another season. But they're like there's more. There's like 3 or 4 arcs going on that are just fantastic to watch. But short so
Tino
far.
Loy,
Yeah.
great character arc.
Yeah.
Mon Mothma is one of my top favorites out of the Andor show. She just I love the political cat and mouse game she has to work through.
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah, and like her relationship with her daughter and her family as well is tied into that.
Yep.
Yeah. So Father Fett, since you haven't been on the podcast, can you tell us what your opinion is of the recent series that we've gotten? Let's see. Let's talk about okay, first of all, give us your like 30-second spiel or review on Obi-Wan, for example. Did you watch Obi-Wan, and what did you think of it?
Okay. I'm glad I'm only limited to 30 seconds. 'Cause long story short on Kenobi, I absolutely loved it. I don't care what any of the haters say. Little Princess Leia stole my heart.
Oh.
Like that was she has the right spunk, and then her and Obi-Wan's kind of distrust relationship grow into a real kind of familial bond that by the end of it is just brilliant. And bringing back Hayden to do Vader was
Yes.
eerie and so well done. And especially that moment when they're fighting and it's like Darth Vader's voice and Hayden's voice.
Yeah.
Just so well done. I loved Kenobi. Trying to think, was Andor was Andor before that or was Andor after that?
Well, I don't remember, but let's just talk about Andor anyway.
Okay.
What'd you think?
Andor, and I guess you guys can all jump into it.
Yeah.
I don't want this to be all strictly me, but Andor was another one that I wasn't sure if I was gonna like, but I ended up really enjoying it. The idea, I'm a the Jedi have captivated my heart and my mind since a kid. So to have a show without any Jedi whatsoever was a new thing. But I found like I kind of just mentioned with Mon Mothma, I loved the political intrigue of how she's trying to do the right thing in a Senate that's slowly succumbing to the Empire and the Emperor's demands, and Cassian's story, kind of looking out for only himself. I'm excited to see what season 2 does to bridge that gap, to see what happens as we lead into Rogue One. And I want to see more K2SO, but that's season 2. And to just see the spark of the rebellion there on Ferrix. I mean, what a inspirational sort of, this is we must stand up to evil. And to see that in the show was cool.
Totally. Yeah, I'm looking forward to season 2 for that one. I think we've seen how deep that character development and that story development can really go in Andor. They're really detailed in, we got so many characters in Andor. So it's going to be interesting if we'll get more characters and how the ones that we've been introduced to will continue to develop and grow and affect Cassian as well. So, yeah. All right, and I guess Ahsoka. what did you think of Ahsoka as a series? And I hope
I
that we can end on like a happy note, but maybe that was
I I hate
Look at
that
that
I
face.
feel this way about Ahsoka, but I will phrase it this way. I think my biggest challenge with Ahsoka is not with the show or not with like where they went with things. Um, Granted, I'm irritated that Ahsoka and Sabine are still now stranded in another galaxy, which, okay, wasn't expecting that and didn't want to see that. But my biggest challenge with the Ahsoka show is it starts to deviate from what I grew up with the Legends novels and even Thrawn's character. And so I'm really having to like be conscious about like, okay, this is something different. It's not what I loved in Legends, and I have to kind of let that go. So my heart is kind of like struggling between the two because this is now new territory that's finally starting to overwrite the books that I loved. Whereas everything prior, I could just mesh into like both universes, canon and
Yep.
Legends.
Yeah.
So I think that a lot of my like frustration comes from that. I will say I think they did some really phenomenal things in Ahsoka. I particularly loved the World Between Worlds episode, and
yeah.
Shadow
so to
Warrior.
see
Yeah.
to see young Ahsoka and Clone Wars Anakin with Hayden was truly a treat, and uh, and it was so good to see Ezra. Thrawn wasn't as imposing as I was hoping he would be in his physical presence. He felt imposing in Rebels, and I'm hoping with Ahsoka season 2 we're gonna get to really see Thrawn as that intimidating villain. I didn't
Okay.
quite get the intimidating villain that I know he is in this, but I also feel like Ahsoka season 1 at least is almost like a bridge between two bigger arcs anyway. So there's definitely more coming that I think will bring me around. But for now, I'm sort of like I kind of ended it less underwhelmed. I think is maybe how I would put that. But I enjoyed it for what it was.
Yeah. Um, I am grateful to Tom in the chat for asking about Bad Batch season 2. What your thoughts were on Bad Batch season 2? So
Can I just
I
go
don't think
cry?
we heard from you on that. So yeah,
I
what
just want
what
to
did you think of
cry.
that?
Tech, Tech is my
Tech.
favorite. I
No
like
body, man. There's no body.
true,
This is
true.
It
Star
is
Wars.
Star
But like
Wars.
He
it's
fell off of something. In Star Wars, you fall and there's no body, then there's no
true,
proof.
true,
Yeah. Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
I object.
Maul,
There's
Maul,
no proof.
Maul and Palpatine have both survived falls in a similar vein. Okay, but yeah, if you'd seen my before I went off to Washington D.C., if you would have seen my home office at the rectory, I think I had at least 3 different uh, like either photos or the Bad Batch crew, but it was like Tech was all over my wall that particular year. So uh, I mean, so that was the big thing was his sacrifice. But overall, if I'm remembering kind of the arc of that, a lot of it from what I remember was just kind of not. I
Like
think I
Omega
wanted more
story.
bigger storytelling, bigger arcs. A lot of the
Mm-hmm.
episodes were sort of just kind of little standalone stories, which are not bad. But I wanted more. How is Omega gonna fit into the cloning and all of that stuff? And I assume that's still coming in the next season. But I think I wanted more of that in season 2. But but I enjoyed it for sure. I love the Bad Batch. They're great.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, thank you again, Tom, for that reminder.
Yeah, yeah,
It was
yeah.
a while back, but oh man, that was a great. I thought that was a fun season.
And the
Mm-hmm.
outpost was just phenomenal. Like out of all the episodes, the outpost was the real standout for me.
Yeah. Yeah, not fun.
Not
but
fun,
definitely
but really good.
really deep. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and again, if anybody's watching the live stream and you haven't heard our podcast about that, where we really deep dive, definitely go check out any and all of the above series that we've actually talked about on our podcast. Catherine brings a lot of great art insights as well, and we talk about music. We talk about everything. So definitely check out those archived episodes. You can go to sqpn.com/Star Wars for that, or your favorite podcast app, as well as YouTube on StarQuest Media's channel. All right, guys. So we could continue to have some chat questions. Oh, yes. Tom says, I appreciate Catherine's feedback on Vision Season 2.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Visions. I hope they do more of those. I want more of those.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, Father, did you get a chance to catch Vision Season 2?
I did. And for some reason, the only one that's sticking out in my mind is the mom and daughter Wallace and Gromit claymation one.
Yes.
And I
Love it.
love that art style, and that one was fun, because I I think it was the mother of the other girl that she's competing against just reminded me of the villain in Chicken Run. Again, the claymation villain.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And just, yeah, the art was great. And the other ones, I remember enjoying them, but I don't remember specifics. One of them had some really cool color. Catherine, you're going to probably remember them way better than I do, but I just remember the use of color in one of them was
first
really
one.
cool. I think it was
Oh,
the first one. There was,
Yeah.
so I do really like what they're doing with all the different animation styles, and I think it's a really cool thing for them to do.
I really like the battle at the Darkhead. That was the
was a good one.
standout one for me. I really
Yeah.
like that one.
All right, guys. Thank you for that great summary there. We're gonna play a fun activity with everybody in the chat as well to kind of wrap up our party here. But definitely, again, if you have more questions, throw them in. Maybe we'll get to them at the end. We're gonna play a little. Well, StarWars.com has these great quizzes on their website, and this year they have a quiz that's called "Which Star Wars band should play your holiday party?" So we are going to let me know when you can see my screen here.
All right.
We are going to
Oh, size noodles.
Size noodles. Okay. We are going to determine which Star Wars band would play at the Secrets of Star Wars Life Day party.
Awesome.
So we all have to agree on these answers.
Okay.
This ought to be fun.
Yeah. How long do we have for this quiz?
We got a few minutes here. Okay, so everybody, we're going to get started here. The first question is, where will you be holding your event? So what do you think fits Secrets of Star Wars more? We've got a fancy yacht, a casino, a trendy club, or a friend's house. What fits
Friend's
Secrets of Star
house.
Wars?
Friend's house. If
Friend's
it's a
house.
show, it's friend's house.
Friend's
Yeah.
house. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that was
wow.
easy.
1 for 1. All right. Who is on the guest list for the party? All right. So it's a private affair. It's open to all. Friends and family or business associates. For Secrets of Star Wars, how would you describe that?
Open to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Open
go
to
ahead.
all.
Even the Trekkies out there, we'll let them.
Oh
in, too.
yeah.
Love it. Okay, so here we go. What kind of vibe are you going for? We have elegance and sophistication, a show of power, a show of wealth, or I'm just here for a good time.
Good time.
Good time. Let the good times
Yeah.
roll.
Good time.
Let the good times roll. That's Secrets of Star Wars. Okay. All right, here's a controversial one here. What
Ooh.
kind of food will you be serving? Okay, tapas, just drinks, a sit-down meal, or a buffet?
Ooh.
What are we doing at Secrets
Tapas.
of Star Wars?
Tapas.
Because
I like
you could totally
tapas.
make like, you could make all sorts of like little things from different planets.
Ooh.
Okay, in the chat we have Paul says pork is on the menu.
Yeah.
I think that
Father
works best
John-
at tapas.
Father John says it's a buffet. We
I'm
have
I can do buffet
pork
or
tapas.
tapas.
Tapas, yeah.
Okay, I feel like the pork tapas is gonna win here. So
Okay.
Yeah.
thanks a lot, Patrick, for that image.
You're welcome.
All right, we've got tapas. Okay, what genre of music will set the right mood? You've got classic rock, classical, a mix, or for some reason opera.
Well, if it's
Gotta
Star
be
Wars,
a good mix.
Should be classical. John
'cause,
Williams.
yeah, John
classical.
Williams, Star Wars. Yeah.
Or even Kevin Kiner does that similar, but it's all in that classical kind of feel.
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
y-
Like you guys were thinking also about like the other shows too. Like, we
That's what
talked
I'm
about
saying.
Andor.
I'm thinking,
and
like,
there was,
mix.
like some electronic
Mix.
type stuff going
A
on
mix.
there.
Okay.
Mix.
Mix.
Yeah. Across all the shows, mix. Got to
Fair.
get that
That's
clarinet saxophone thing from Andor.
Yeah,
fair.
and
Yeah.
solo as well, right?
Yeah. The Mandalorian stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What kind of decor will make this party more festive? So we've got silver and gold decorations, more traditional, twinkling lights, or no decorations needed. How would we decorate the podcast?
Twinkling lights like
Twinkling
stars.
lights. Yeah, that's what I'm
Twinkling
thinking.
lights. And I want to see them shooting out at us. You know, like you're going hyperspace. We're going to turn the bright lights on in a snowstorm, you know?
Mm.
All right. Sounds like
Yeah.
some dangerous art direction from Catherine going on here. All right. Twinkling lights it is. Okay. So will there be any celebrities at this shindig? Okay. Well, we have elite entrepreneurs as one option, sports stars, famous singers, or I'm kind of a big deal.
Do we know any celebrities? to
We've had a
invite?
few on the show.
I mean, that's true.
Yeah,
So
we have
I've got
celebrities
connections.
introducing the show. Yeah.
Yeah.
Father Fett's a celebrity for me.
Agreed.
Yeah,
Well, then
so-
that one's the. I'm kind of a big deal then.
Deal. Let's go with that one.
Kind of
It'll be
a big
fun.
deal. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I wonder how that's going to skew the results.
Right?
Right.
Okay, so when will you hold your party? Okay, so let's see how we can do this. This weekend, in 1 week, sometime this month, or to celebrate the new year.
Celebrate the
I
new
feel
like-
year.
I feel like all of
New
those
Year's
are the
parties.
same thing.
Yeah.
Those are the same.
Oh, yeah.
Because New Year's is next weekend, right? That's
Well, for today, yeah, kind of. But maybe like throughout the year, we would say more like in a week, mostly from week to week, we do the show. I don't know.
wow.
I don't know. Ringing in the new year with a Star Wars band, though.
Yeah.
Time it with
'cause
the
it
Death
could-
Star blowing up.
It depends on whether we're looking at this event as like a life day event that's once a
Okay.
year or a weekly event that's the podcast. And I would lean towards to celebrate the new year as like a singular Life Day event.
Singular event. Yeah, we'd probably get a little tired if we threw a party every week.
Oh
so.
gosh. Yes, we would.
Yes.
Okay, well let's go with that then. We've also got some agreement in the chat, so let's go with that. Okay, and I believe this is the final question before we get our result here. Will there be a gift exchange? So our options are white elephant, just for the kids, just for the host, or no gifts.
What
We
are the
always-
white elephant rules?
Yeah,
Right.
that's always the. I feel like no gifts is the safest way to go.
I feel like most people will be there for the food and dancing rather than gifts.
Yeah.
but-
Yep.
Yeah, no gifts.
Okay, so we're gonna
Yeah,
be
I'm good with that.
welcoming hosts and just say, you know what, just come as you are, no gift
Exactly.
required. Okay, well, drum roll please. We're gonna get our results. Oh,
Yes!
Oh,
That's what I wanted! Yes!
Max Rebo.
all right. So the result says you're partying with the Max Rebo Band. No need to debate which of their hits is their best work. The Max Rebo Band will be sure to play Lopty Neck, Jedi Rocks, and
Yes.
even some of Max's solo pieces when you hire them for your holiday party. But we all know Size Noodles is the star of the show. So
And
cool.
they're cheap. In Legends, they work for food. But that was Max's fault, so.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah, I could totally imagine Max Rebo playing at our party for sure. So, I love it.
Hey, as long
you,
as the
guys.
band that opens for them is the one from Visions 1.
Yeah.
Yes!
That's what I'm thinking too,
I love
the-
those
the
guys.
punk band.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
Starwave?
Yeah,
what
the
they're called?
rock
Yeah.
band. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They are cool. I like them, yeah.
All right, too cool. All right, guys. Well, Jason says he's starstruck by seeing Father Fett here, so I guess we picked the right one there.
Awesome. Hi, Jason.
Yeah. So okay, we got some cool interaction there. Thank you guys for participating in our fun quiz. And it's been a really fun Life Day, I got to say. Thank you guys for being here to celebrate. Any last
This was
words?
fantastic.
Yeah,
This
this
is
was a lot of fun. Really awesome.
Oh man, thank you guys so much. That is it from all of us, you all. Thank you for participating. We want to know, what does being a Star Wars fan mean to you, and how did you celebrate and enjoy Life Day this year? So maybe the Life Day season, as it were. So be sure to email us or comment on our social media to let us know. And perhaps we'll share your comments on our next episode. So you can always email us. Our feedback email address is starwars@sqpn.com. You can find StarQuest on social media. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/StarQuestMedia. And we're on X at SQPN. We're also on Instagram, by the way. I believe that's StarQuest Network. And we'd like to take a moment to thank our patrons who make it possible for us to create Secrets of Star Wars all throughout the year. Your generous donations make it possible for us to continue the Secrets of Star Wars and all the shows at StarQuest. Thank you so much. Woohoo! And if you would like to support the podcast and what we're doing to find hope in a galaxy far, far away, please visit sqpn.com/give. Thank you so much. Also, be sure to subscribe to the show, you all. If this is your first time here, welcome. Find us on your favorite podcast platform, including our StarQuest YouTube channel. And to find previous episodes of Secrets of Star Wars, you can visit sqpn.com/Star Wars. All right, you all. So until next time, that's it from all of us. Thomas Salerno, thank you for joining us in the Secrets of Star Wars.
Thank you, and may the Force be with you.
And Catherine Laffrey, thank you, and Merry Life Day.
Thank you. Merry Life Day to you.
I don't know if that's how you're supposed to say it, but
Yeah.
Father Andrew, thank you for joining us as well. Father Andrew Kinstetter, our special guest for this evening.
Absolutely. It's been awesome to be here and with you guys, and God bless you all.
And we can't forget the Dadalorian. Thank you for your controversial remarks as well as all the
Welcome.
fun.
Always glad to
Yeah,
provide
yeah.
controversial.
Patrick Mason, thank you for joining us.
Oh, happy Life Day to all. A good night.
And once again, I am the one in the middle, the Bendu, Angela Ciolana. Thank you for listening to the Secrets of Star Wars on Star Quest. Bye, everybody.
Bye.